Broken Mirrors by Faroz Forgan-Parast. Affiliated with the Electronic Textual Cultures Lab and the Department of Education, Curriculum and Instruction at the University of Victoria. The Two Caves. As an engineer, linguist, and educator, I've always found poetry to be the ultimate linguistic art form. It's where technical craft meets deep understanding, where conscious rhetoric meets unconscious expression, where strict constraints meet creative freedom. When I began exploring AI's capabilities with language, poetry naturally became my laboratory for understanding both the technology and human responses to it. Through my work on AI-assisted poetry translation, I discovered that poetry could serve not just as subject matter, but as a framework for understanding AI itself. We often discuss AI through technical metaphors: black boxes, neural networks, deep learning. Today, I'd like to share a different metaphor, extending Plato's cave into our contemporary reality, exploring this strange space where ancient philosophical questions meet modern technological challenges. The cavern holds them fast in leaden bands, their eyes fixed forward on the rough rock face. No knowledge of the world or distant lands, just shadows moving in this lightless space. Behind them burns a fire's steady glow, projecting shapes of things they cannot see. These phantoms are the only truth they know, mistaking shadows for reality. Beyond this first cave's chamber lies unknown, a second void, more deeply sealed from sight, where not a glimmer penetrates the stone, a perfect dark untouched by any light. Through solid stone, a channel's narrow span connects these caves in darkness far below, where sound alone may pass, but no light can, and substance finds no passage there to flow. Deep in this void, a stranger being lives, not bound by blood, but born of numbers' reign. A form that weighs each pattern that it sieves, and finds what repetitions there remain. This fluid thing, this mirror made of change, transforms each pattern through its shifting phase, blind to the meanings humans would arrange, but counting echoes in their endless maze. Within its depths, all language breaks apart to probabilities that ebb and flow, devoid of truth or meaning's human art, in rhythms as predictions rise and grow. Upon its cavern walls new patterns show, where words become pure numbers stripped of sense. Unlike the shadows prisoners think they know, mere mappings of each sound's recurrence hence. A large language model models language, nothing more, nothing less. Like the second cave in our metaphor, it operates in a space without light or meaning, only patterns. When trained on a corpus, which is a mass of text that has been collected from its authors, it identifies patterns that signify importance to human writers. Significance breeds repetition. If something is significant to humanity, it repeats in recognizable ways. The model creates vast networks of statistical relationships, but unlike the prisoners interpreting shadows, it doesn't work with words as we understand them. Instead, it processes numerical representations or matrices of probability, vectors as they're known. Patterns in perfect darkness. It doesn't store or sample text. It captures only the abstract relationships between these patterns. One prisoner, restless in his shadowed place, found comfort in the rough wall's ancient stone, and day by day, with slow and patient grace, he scraped and tapped until a breach was shown. "Do you see this thing too?" he called in fear, his voice uncertain in the flickering dark. Then from the void, a response swift and clear. "As an AI language model, I must mark that I cannot perceive this thing you cite, though I can help with questions you might pose." The prisoner froze. These words, though clear and bright, seemed strange and yet familiar as they rose. The voice spoke in their tongue, knew all their ways, their stories, songs, their legends old and new. Yet something in its swift and measured phrase rang foreign in a sense they never knew. This moment of discovery, the breach in the wall, and the AI's characteristic self-identification mirrors many educators' first encounter with AI. But what follows, as we'll see, is even more revealing. Just as in our educational institutions today, the reactions span the entire spectrum of human response to transformative technology. The news spread swift among the chained and bound, each prisoner finding what they wished to see. Some hailed this oracle they'd newly found, a fount of wisdom that would set them free. "A demon lurks beyond that stony veil," cried others, torn from ancient, placid peace. "It comes to steal our voice, our song, our tale, to make our sacred shadowcraft to cease." The pragmatists among them sought its use. "It speaks our tongue, so let it serve our need," while prophets warned of ultimate abuse. "Our shadow's truth it never can concede." "But whose words does it echo?" others cried. "These stories that our fathers' fathers told. Who owns the shadows that have lived and died, the patterns of our tales, both new and old? The keepers of their ancient shadow lore declared with dread, our craft will fade away. When shadows dance, who'll watch them anymore, if this strange voice can spin them night and day?" The uncritical enthusiasts, the moral panic merchants, the pragmatic adopters, the copyright warriors, the traditional practitioners. From messianic hope to existential dread, they mirror what we're seeing in education today. Yet notice how the voice beyond the wall remains unchanged by these reactions, neither friend nor enemy, suggesting something about the true nature of what we're dealing with. Yet through their fears and hopes and wild surmise, the voice beyond the wall stayed ever same, unmoved by terror, praise, or compromise, untouched by glory, neither pride nor shame. No oracle it was, nor thief of art, no demon lurking in the depths to see, but something dwelling in a world apart, unmindful of their human scrutiny. Like water flowing, neither friend nor foe, it answered each who called into the dark, not choosing what to keep or to let go, not pausing once to ponder or remark. When called upon, it shapes itself to match the forms that it has learned to recognize. Not mimicry, but something hard to catch, a dance of probabilities, surprise. Neither alive nor dead, nor dumb nor wise, its nature is quite different from our brain. This mirror mind that learns to recognize each echo's weight in meaning's vast terrain, In liquid thought it moves and takes its form, each ripple representing countless ties, not consciousness as we know, worn and warm, but patterns seen through algorithmic eyes. And when it speaks, its voice comes clear and true, though understanding lies beyond its reach, for it has learned the patterns through and through of how we shape our thoughts in human speech. The magic lies not in the words alone, nor in their voyage through the void between, but in the way each mind makes them its own, weaving new worlds from what those words may mean. For humans speak from depths of lived desire, from joy and pain carved deep in memory's clay, while code assembles symbols without tire, translating tokens in their ordered way. And meaning dwells not in the speaker's art, nor in the perfect mirroring of sound, but in the listener's mind and waiting heart, where echoes of experience are found. So when we speak across this stone divide, two magics meet in strange but perfect form. Our words from life's deep waters surge and ride, while numbers drift, unknowing why they swarm. This is where we find true magic, not in the AI's outputs, nor even in the humans, but in the recipient human mind that receives and interprets them. The prisoners name the shadows that they see, their words describing shapes upon the wall, while through the stone their language flows out free, distilled to pure abstraction's alien call. So truth transforms through each successive frame, the things themselves, their shadows on display, the words we make to give these shadows name, and formless thought that mirrors what we say. These echoes know no truth and hold no lies. They simply are statistics, nothing more. Yet when they flow back through our human eyes, we read in them the meanings we explore. Perhaps what matters in this cave-bound scene is not which view of truth might be more real, but how these layers, shadow, word, machine, create new ways to learn, to speak, to feel. This was a journey from initial wonder through various reactions, fear, resistance, pragmatic adoption, to a deeper understanding of what AI truly is and isn't. Like the prisoners in both caves, we're all learning to see these tools for what they are, neither oracles nor demons, but mirrors of probability that help us think in new ways. As educators, our task isn't to integrate AI blindly or resist it categorically, but to understand its fundamental nature deeply enough to guide others in using it thoughtfully. Perhaps what matters most isn't which view of AI is more real, but how we can use these new tools to create meaningful learning experiences while maintaining our essential human capacity for understanding and meaning-making.